Okay.
Took it there.
He did
Different
take it there. I
move.
know. I don't know what that was.
That's
but
some
okay.
old school. There you go. Hey, but here's the latest right now. What's happening? We still have that upper level low. You see the counterclockwise spin. The arrows are pointed toward from the east to the west, where this storm system is moving. And by the way, it has a 0% chance of development within the next 48 hours, at least of a tropical system. But it will bring us the potential for some heavy rainfall. This is through today as well as tomorrow, and also on Thursday with another disturbance pushing in. You see rainfall totals approaching 1.5 inches. Let's now go toward, we're actually going to have a frontal system that's going to stall out across the area by the weekend. Place this in the motion. Take a look at these rainfall totals now. This may verify, may not verify. This will be all the way into next Tuesday, around 4 inches of rainfall. Still have that in the back of your mind. But for today, we have that general thunderstorm risk, the potential for some brief heavy rainfall as well as some gusty winds. And currently out the door, we're into the 70s. We're 76 degrees, Baton Rouge 75, Gonzales, Opelousas, we're at 74 and 74 degrees. Into Kentwood, so here's our forecast today, 85 degrees with the coverage at 80%. Winds from the northeast at 6 to 12 miles per hour this evening. Partly to mostly cloudy. Rain chances will start to tick down to around 20%, and you see our wind now from the east at 4 to 8 miles per hour. The next 5 days, we're back up to 89 for your 4th of July. Rain chances at around 50 to 60%, and then on Thursday, 70% with another disturbance, and 90 on Friday, and then the upper 80s to around 90 for Saturday and Sunday with the rain chances continuing. We have those radio updates brought to us by Cumulus Media. Let's take a look at the roadways this morning, and we travel along the Old River Bridge along US 190, and the traffic is looking pretty good in the west and eastbound lanes. And the travel times further south, the Sunshine Bridge up toward LA 22, 7 to 14 minutes, and 10 westbound Highland to Bluebonnet at 5 to 10 minutes. For your latest traffic updates, log on to brproud.com, Facebook, and Twitter. This traffic check is sponsored by the Murphy Law Firm, and maybe I can do some dancing later on.
I really hope you do.
Oh.
Well, July 4th is officially less than 24 hours away, and as we commemorate our country's independence, our state law enforcement officers are working to keep you and your family safe.
That's right. They'll be trying to clear the roads of impaired drivers. Local 33 Ticia Muzinga is live this morning at State Police Headquarters with more on their campaign. Ticia, good morning.
Good morning, Carly and Jaron. Law enforcement officers across the state will be working overtime to spot and arrest these drunk drivers. According to state police, law enforcement has received highway safety grants to fund overtime costs for extra patrols to get impaired drivers off the roads during the holiday. And get this, from 2012 through 2016, 37 people died on Louisiana roads during July 4th, and 30 of those deaths involved a driver who had been drinking. Those statistics come from the Highway Safety Research Group at LSU. So if you plan to drink, be sure to have a designated driver. It's not hard to download Uber or Lyft. And also, if you see a friend drinking and they plan to drive home, take their keys, call them a taxi, whatever you can do to get drunk drivers off the road. So that's it for me. We have a lot more tips for the holiday on our website, brproud.com. Carly and Jaron, back to you guys.
All right, Ticia, thank you. Some great information there as we head into the 4th of July holiday. Well, still to come this morning on Local 33 News Today, our sports director Brian Holland has all of the NBA free agency madness in one moment. That plus much more in this morning's Go Nation Sports Report.
And as always, you can stay connected with us throughout your entire day. You can stay up to date with your latest news, weather, and sports at brproud.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go check out our social media sites and interact with us behind the scenes. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with much more Local 33 News Today.
Welcome back. We've got some good news, actually some great news this morning, and a drama followed around the world. The miracle so many prayed for granted in the desperate search for this young group of soccer players and their coach lost in a flooded cave in Thailand 10 days ago.
Such an amazing story. There were tears and cheers of relief as the group of 13 were located inside of the cave. All of them alive, but now facing a risky hurdle to reach the surface. NBC's Richard Engel has the latest.
They emerged in the darkness, the missing boys alive. Their first words to rescuers, thank you.
Thank you. How many of you? 13. Brilliant.
It's the first light the boys have seen in over a week. Members of a Thai soccer team, ages 11 to 16, and their coach have been totally cut off by floodwaters and lost track of time in the cave.
You have been here 10 days. 10 days. You are very strong.
The boys looking thin, but grateful to be alive.
I am really happy.
We are happy too.
Today, when an official announced our younger brothers have been found, there were cheers. Emotional families embracing, calling it a miracle. The team went exploring in the cave in northern Thailand, then disappeared without a trace. U.S. military personnel joining the search. The problem now, how to get the boys out. The only way out is to go underwater to the cave's mouth in total darkness.
We come.
A risky operation even for experienced scuba divers, let alone a group of young and exhausted boys. Richard Engel, NBC News.
A great story there, just something that a lot of people have been following, and it's some great news that they were able to get out safely.
Amazing.
Like those types of stories on a Tuesday morning. All right, well, your time now is 5:44 on this Tuesday morning. We're going to take a quick break, and on the other side, we're going to check in with Brian Holland with sports and meteorologist Kevin Smith with this forecast. Stay with us.
And now, Brian Holland with Go Nation.
LSU football will be at SEC Media Days center stage in just less than 2 weeks. By the way, 2 weeks from yesterday, we'll have all your Go Nation coverage live from Atlanta, Georgia. As for the strength of this LSU team, voters are going to see Dave Aranda and his potent defense out there. In fact, 2 Tiger defenders already named preseason first-team All-American by the Sporting News. That happened yesterday. Devin White, and you see Greedy Williams giving you the finger right there. Taking home those regular season, or the preseason honors, rather. That won't be the last of that, though. they'll be the leaders of this defense as well. But defensive coordinator Dave Aranda also hopes that they'll be leading a group that's now much more seasoned than the Tigers defense that LSU fans saw last season.
Last year, what I think was, I felt was a struggle. Last year was the toughest year in coaching I've had, you know. We had some young guys that had to mature quickly. Anytime you're doing that, it's going to be growing pains, and there certainly was. And so I think as the season went on, we got better and better and better. But you know, that was a growing kind of learning experience, and you like to get to the point to where you've grown some enough, and so you can go ahead about the business of being who you are, you know. And so I'm hoping that that's the case here coming up.
And just in case you're still trying to make sense of the NBA free agency, who's in, who's out, who's a Pelican? Well, not that man right there, Rajon Rondo. His 8 assists a game, they will be sorely missed. DeMarcus Cousins, a stat stuffer, 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. He's going to the Golden State Warriors. Hard to believe that. But coming in, a couple talented young talents, I should say. Elfrid Payton. Remember, he played his college ball at UL Lafayette. He scores a little bit more than Rondo and has about the same amount of assist numbers. Julius Randle, more of a presence down low than a scoring threat, but still gets in 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. All right, that's a look at your Go Nation Sports this morning. I'm Brian Holland.
Now is 5:48. We're going to check in now with the dancing meteorologist, Kevin Smith. Good morning, Kevin.
Yeah, singing in the rain. Speaking of that, it's really raining off toward the south of us. Take a look. This is the Earth Cam. This is courtesy of the folks at Earth Cam. This is on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. See all the wet pavement there. And as we go toward the vicinity of what's happening on Doppler radar, you can see that this is that thunderstorm associated with the upper level low. That's mainly now to the east of New Orleans. It will continue to progress toward the west, and until it moves across our area, rain chances will increase to around 80%. So we're going to see our own singing in the rain. A lot of folks are going to be doing that, as well as some umbrella weather. Here we go. The futurecast, you see a smattering of showers. This is around 1 p.m. We're keeping the coverage at around 70%, and then we'll see really the blow up of a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity, and then that will start to push out of here as we push towards Wednesday morning, and the coverage will go down to around 20%. So once again, we're monitoring our upper level low that will bring us the possibility of some heavy rainfall potential. 4th of July rain chances right now 50 to 60%, won't be a washout. And then another disturbance moves in as we travel into your Thursday, and rain chances that day will go up to around 70%. Meanwhile, yesterday at the airport, a little bit of some rainfall. Most of it stayed into Livingston Parish, so some folks saw a little bit of some needed rainfall. Well, if you need more. Yesterday, a high of 95 at the airport after an average low of 92. Nowhere near that record of 100 set back in 1921. Currently at the airport, we're set 76 degrees, still 75 in Gonzales. We're 72 in Hammond and 74 degrees into Kentwood. Now, the car wash forecast for this morning, caution, and then by the afternoon and evening, don't do it unless your car is really dirty. 7-day forecast, the upper 80s to around the lower 90s will continue with rain chances up and down. 80% today, 60% tomorrow, 70% on Thursday, 50% on Friday, and then 60% as we push into the weekend, which means umbrella weather. And we have those radio updates brought to us by Cumulus Media. Let's take a look at those travel times this morning. We travel first along LA 1 northbound Addis to Interstate 10. We're holding it at 5 to 10 minutes. Be aware of that. And eastbound along this interstate, US 190, everyone traveling pretty good there. That's going to be 15 to 25 minutes. Let's take a look at what's happening with the dot cam this morning. And we see I-12 at Range Avenue. The traffic looking pretty good in the west and eastbound lanes. For your latest traffic updates, just log on to brproud.com, Facebook, and Twitter. This traffic check is sponsored by the Murphy Law Firm. And I have to really think, even if it rains on Bourbon Street folks are still going to be out, but I don't think they're out this early in the morning.
Not going to rain on their parade. Thank you, Kevin. Trending this morning, there is video of a dog performing CPR on his handler, and of course, it's gone viral. Take a look at this. Police in Madrid, Spain, taught Pancho the steps for performing life-saving first aid on a patient. In this demonstration done for children, Pancho runs to the rescue after his handler collapses on the ground. The quick-thinking dog immediately starts chest compressions, then appears to check to see if his patient is breathing. Look at that. The video was published on Friday and quickly viewed more than 2.3 million times online. Pancho kept up his work until his handler was resuscitated. There he goes. What a good dog.
Look at his little tail. He's so happy.
Pancho doing some chest compressions, bringing his handler back to life.
Aww.
Just proving that dogs are man's best friend.
Man's
best friends.
You notice that was a puppy.
Was it?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you want to have a.
I don't know if you want to have a Great Dane doing some, some chest compressions
they
on you.
Probably
they can do it a little faster.
Good, yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break and come back with some more trending news right after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching Local 33 News Today with Carly Lang, Jaron Jordan, and Kevin Smith with your Storm Tracker team forecast.
In trending news this morning, a woman in Australia is warning others to learn from her experience after she was almost dragged underwater after being bitten by a shark.
Jeremy Roth has that in this morning. No, it's like, no, that doesn't even sound entertaining. Jeremy Roth has that in this morning's Take a Look at This.
Terrifying moments in Australia as a woman is bitten and pulled into the water by a shark. Melissa Brunning was hand-feeding spawny nurse sharks off the country's northern coast when it happened.
All I could really focus on was the fact that my finger is gone. So he clamped on it and it felt like it was shredding off the bone.
Amazingly, she did not lose her finger, but did suffer a broken bone and torn ligaments, seen here in these disgusting photos. Brunning says she hopes others will learn from her first-hand experience.
Be mindful of your surroundings and don't feed sharks.
Watch as a nearly 165-foot section of road collapses in China. It happened on July 1st in the Sichuan province. No casualties were reported, and authorities are investigating the cause of the collapse, which occurred after several days of heavy rain. Well, after nearly 2 months, volcanic lava is still flowing on Hawaii's Big Island. The U.S. Geological Survey released new aerial video of the active Kilauea summit. Multiple collapse events occurred recently, resulting in hundreds of small earthquakes. Since it started erupting on May 3rd, lava from the summit has covered over 6,000 acres and more than 650 homes have been destroyed. Additionally, lava entering the ocean has hardened to create over 400 acres of new land. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Can't get over that shark video.
Oh my gosh.
Terrifying.
Oh.
Ooh, all right.
Can't even say anything about it.
Before we head into our 6 o'clock hour, one more reminder for you that tomorrow we are heading on a little field trip. The morning show, we're going to be here at the same time, 5 a.m., but you'll see us in a different location. We're going to be live right in downtown Baton Rouge, right in front of the USS Kidd and along the downtown riverfront. As we usher in the 4th of July holiday, we'll have some musical guests, some chefs, everything that you need to know about fireworks safety, where and when you can do them as we all celebrate the 4th of July. Again, that's 5 a.m. tomorrow right here on Local 33 News Today. Hope you can join us.
And before we go to break, we're going to send you off with a live look this morning outside of the capital city from our Skycam. Still a little dark out there, but the sun is starting to rise. We're going to take a quick break, and our 6 o'clock hour starts in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. La la la.
This is your Storm Tracker team forecast first.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This terrific Tuesday. Currently out the door, we're at 76 degrees, but the roads are dry for now, and sunrise in about 7 more minutes. Well, it's going to get light outside because we want to see the sun fall today. At least a little bit of some shower and thunderstorm activities off toward the south and east of us due to that upper level low that's slowly moving toward the west, and that means umbrellas ahead. I have those details coming up.
6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Good morning to you, friends. Thanks so much for waking up with us for Local 33 News Today. I'm Jaron Jordan.
And I'm Carly Lane. Here's a look at what's coming up. This man is behind bars this morning in connection to the tragic death of Councilman Buddy Amoroso. We'll have the latest on this investigation.
Plus, a stolen vehicle crashes into 2 Baton Rouge homes, and get this, neighbors say it's not the first time. We'll have more on the police investigation now underway.
And as we get ready to celebrate July 4th, law enforcement officers are planning to clear the roads from drunk drivers. I'm TC Muzinga. Coming up, I'll have the latest.
Live and Baton Rouge proud. You're watching Local 33 News today.
Good morning, everyone. We're continuing our coverage this morning into the death of East Baton Rouge Metro Councilman Buddy Amoroso. We know this man, 21-year-old Nicholas Alexander, has been charged in connection with that fatal cycle crash. Alexander was arrested and booked on several charges, including negligent homicide. His bond has been set at $17,500, and as of this morning, he has not bonded out. Now, Councilman Amoroso was riding his bike in St. Francisville early Saturday morning when investigators say Alexander hit him and another man, 71-year-old Thomas Clement. Clement was taken to the hospital. Councilman Amoroso was later pronounced dead. And we now know the name of the Baton Rouge police officer involved in that deadly pedestrian crash that happened Saturday. 10-year veteran Corporal Jenny Bourgeois is currently on paid administrative leave while this investigation continues. Now, the crash happened Saturday night around 10 o'clock, and police say John Payne was trying to cross Florida Boulevard when he was hit and killed by a Baton Rouge patrol car. Now, Corporal Bourgeois was not hurt during this crash. At this time, authorities do not believe speed is a factor in this case.
And turning now to your Local 33 crime tracker this morning, Baton Rouge police are looking for the people who neighbors say stole a vehicle and then crashed it into two houses. It happened near North Acadian in Baton Rouge, and believe it or not, neighbors say it's becoming a growing problem. Local 33's Dion Guillory is here now with the story.
Well, good morning. That crash left behind lots of damage. Neighbors say anyone driving in that area just needs to simply slow down. The driver of this blue Hyundai crashed into two houses. Neighbors say it was stolen. The car took out a support beam holding up the roof above this porch. Take a look at this damage. It also tore up the bricks on the ground. The car smashed into the passenger side door of this car parked in the yard. The homeowner's sister says this is the third time something like this happened to her sister in the last 3 years.
Knowing your sister has had to go through this 3 times, how does that make you feel? Are you worried about her safety?
Yes, I am, because the last time it was around by her bedroom and the car came into the bedroom. It tore up everything.
Now, this latest driver also tore up the neighbor's house and some damage here. You can still see a piece of the car still right there. It also knocked over the air conditioner. Now, those neighbors tell me that the air conditioner is still working. We know our heat is very hot right now. Now, the speed limit in that area, 40 miles per hour, but neighbors say that's the problem because they believe drivers are going much faster than that. Dion Guillory, Local 33 News.
All right, Dion, thank you. Well, the 4th of July is less than 24 hours away, and as we celebrate our country's independence, law enforcement officers are going to be working to make sure you and your family are safe during the holiday.
That's right. The Clear the Roads campaign hopes to rid the streets of impaired drivers. Local 33's Ticia Muzinga, she's live this morning at State Police Headquarters with more on this campaign. Hey, Ticia.
Good morning, Carly and Jaron. Law enforcement officers across the state will be working overtime to spot and arrest drunk drivers. So according to state police, law enforcement has received highway safety grants to fund overtime costs for extra patrols to get impaired drivers off the roads during the holiday. And also get this, from 2012 through 2016, 37 people died on Louisiana roads during the 4th of July holiday, and 30 of those deaths involved a driver who had been drinking. So those statistics come from the Highway Safety Research Group at LSU. So if you plan on drinking, be sure to have a designated driver or download Uber or Lyft. They're really easy to download. But also, if you see your friends drinking and they are planning to drive home, take their keys, call a taxi. We have a lot more safety tips on our website, beyourproud.com. Carly and Jaron, back to you guys.
All right, Ticia, thank you. Speaking of driving, trending now, some incredible dash cam video of a driver swerving across a highway in New Jersey, obviously leading to some scary moments for some drivers there. Luckily, no injuries were reported, but we're told that that erratic driver is facing criminal charges for heroin and a syringe that was found in his vehicle, as well as multiple traffic violations. Mothers Against Drunk Driving of Louisiana is also stressing the importance of having a designated driver if your holiday plans include alcohol. As you just heard from Ticia there, drunk driving deaths are 100% preventable 100% of the time. And at 6:06 on this Tuesday morning, meteorologist Kevin Smith dancing his way into a Tuesday forecast.
You got that right, but everyone has a little bit of some grit because of the rain chance today. Going back to the travel thing, also if you're tired, pull over in a rest area or to stop and take a little bit of a nap.
Yep, great information
that's
there
some
too.
good advice. But you know, a lot of folks are going to be hitting the roads as well as the sky today. Let's take a look at what the travel plans are across the nation. Orlando, that land of the mouse, 92 degrees, 105 the dry heat. Las Vegas, 77. Into LA, the Big Apple, 90 degrees, a chance of rain. Chicago at 78 degrees and 73. A little bit of some sunshine. If you're traveling to the airports, check your airlines for delays. Also check for that baggage information as well as all those fees. Arrive early for your departure and have the documents ready as well. Meanwhile, the radar yesterday showed a little bit of some thunderstorm activity, mainly across the eastern sections, especially Denham Springs, and then it broke across the area and then it picked up again. And currently, Doppler radar indicating still that pesky upper low moving our way. The rainfall now is back down toward the Crescent City. Currently out the door, we're at 75 degrees with a calm wind, dew point at 73. So here we go. What's going to be happening for the next 12 hours? Only at around 84 to 85 degrees. Rain chances hovering at 80%. And here we go for the 4th of July. Rain chances still holding in at 50 to 60%, but that will occur mainly in the afternoon and evening hours. In the morning, rain chances at 20% with temperatures into the mid to upper 70s. So it looks pretty good, at least for the 4th of July morning. And, you know, we have something happening.
We do have something happening, and we're happy that the weather is going to be in our favor, hopefully, tomorrow morning. But we're going to be going on a little bit of a field trip. The whole crew here at Local 33 News Today, we're going to be going out into the community and bringing you a live show for the 4th of July. We're going to be right there in front of the USS Kidd. We're going to have some cooks, some musical guests, just having a lot of fun there. Right there in the heart of downtown Baton Rouge as we celebrate the 4th of July and get you prepared for your day. So we're hoping Kevin can do his thing and keep the rain off in the morning.
Can I sing?
Of course you can sing,
Okay.
Kevin. Kevin, you can sing and dance all you want.
So make sure to watch tomorrow for Kevin singing. All right, we'll still come on Local 33 News Today. School is out for the summer, but the doors are open at 6 schools in East Baton Rouge Parish, all undergoing some kind of construction this summer. We'll get a check inside one of the new schools opening in East Baton Rouge Parish this fall.
That's right, and fireworks and pets, they don't always mix, but coming up we're going to be taking a closer look on how you can manage your pet's anxiety during the 4th of July celebration. Some good information for you there.
I like how you walked into the shop there.
Ooh, with my 4th of July tips.
Walking into the shop, we're going to walk into a break as you take a live look. Oh, here comes another one.
Kevin,
there we
walking-
go. As
there
you
we
take a
go.
live look outside of the capital city this morning, your time now is 6:09 on this Tuesday morning. We're going to take a quick break around the studio, I guess. We'll be right back with much more.
You're watching Local 33 News Today with Carly Lang, Jaron Jordan, and Kevin Smith with your Storm Tracker team forecast.
Welcome back. In this morning's Making the Grade report, as many as 6 new schools are going to be coming to East Baton Rouge Parish.
Local 33's Justin Campbell has an inside look at one school set to open this fall.
Under construction, a $17 million brand new building off of Lobdell Avenue.
It's hands-on, so it's going to be project-based, and so it's not going to be the typical sit around and listen to lectures and take notes. They're actually going to be doing things.
Summer Dan, executive director of CTEC, says students are already hands-on when it comes to something we use every day.
They understand cell phones and computers, but
technology, something Dan says is changing every industry.
And it is going into every field. Every field is going to have IT in it.
Dan says they will be teaching up to 300 juniors and seniors in high school.
This isn't your typical high school VOTEC. This is going to be, they're going to get understanding or knowledge in IT systems, in
medical and manufacturing.
High wage, high demand jobs for our region.
But there is a shortage of people to fill those jobs in our region, a problem CTEC hopes to solve.
Knowledge and skills and training that the general public won't have. It's something they would be trained in industry on, but they're going to get it in high school. So we're preparing students for their careers of the future.
In Baton Rouge, Justin Campbell, Local 33 News.
And there are already 130 students enrolled and ready to start later this fall. Pretty cool.
Awesome. Getting them ready early.
That's right. Speaking of early, we have a visitor once again. Take a look at
Just
the
like
view.
clockwork.
There's Willie's wing.
Just his
There's his wing.
Yeah.
He just woke up at 6 o'clock. That's what time he wakes up.
I'm
right.
seeing this pattern. I definitely think that is the real thing. He
Is that
wakes
the
up
real
at
thing?
6. I think so. It's when he comes out.
Yeah, he's coming out today. But hey, you saw that little bit of that title there? They call it Stormy Tuesday. A Wednesday may not be too bad. That's some B.B. King for you this
What
morning.
you call a tease. Stick around for that.
That's right. Details coming up in 2 minutes and that change.
Now, your Storm Tracker team forecast with Kevin Smith.
Once again, a good Tuesday morning, everyone. And the water vapor satellite imagery, we're measuring that water content in the atmosphere, noticing all the grays as well as white, denoting all the moisture. And it's all because of this upper level low that's still off towards the east of us. That's why I'm going to hold our rain chances today for majority at around 80% or greater, which means when you head out the door, take the umbrella. With that in mind, the Storm Prediction Center, which is the SPC, has us in the light green. Primary threats today, brief heavy rainfall. We're talking about between a half an inch to an inch, even more than that, of some rainfall and some gusty winds in excess of 30-40 miles per hour. Speaking of the rainfall totals, the Euro model indicating at least approaching an inch or so. They're keeping the heaviest activity off toward the I-49 corridor from Lafayette all the way up toward Opelousas. And then we place it in the motion. Another wave pushes in by about Thursday, what we call a disturbance. And you see the rainfall totals at 1.5 inches, and the same story into Gonzales, still approaching 3 inches as you make your way off toward the west and southwest. So with the flash flooding, at least a potential, make sure you don't drive into a flood-prone area. Turn around, don't drown, and stay at least at higher ground. It's not a play area as well. And the dew point still into the lower to the mid 70s across the board, with the temperatures as well into the 70s, but approaching 79. A little bit of that urban heat island, but a rain cool still 79 degrees into the Crescent Sea. So the futurecast indicating that kind of counterclockwise spin. Still a smattering of showers. Not everyone will see the rainfall, so some folks new roads may see the rainfall, and then we'll see a break, and then folks down toward Morgan City will see it, and then everything will start to push out of here when you wake up for your Wednesday morning, just in time for Independence Day. And then by the afternoon, the rain chances of daytime heating at 50 to 60%. We're up to 85 degrees with the rain coverage at 80%. The winds from the northeast due to the low at around 6 to 12 miles per hour. Then for your Wednesday, 89, a tad warmer. Now notice how winds will shift direction to the southeast at 6 to 12 miles per hour. Your 7-day forecast, still the upper 80s to the lower 90s remaining. Rain chances by Thursday back up to 70% without disturbance, then back down to 50% on Friday. And then for Saturday into the weekend, still around 60%. Overnight lows of 73 to around 74. We have the radio updates brought to us by Cumulus Media. Let's take a look at the roadways this morning. Travel along this Interstate 12, approaching the 10 East New Orleans exit. And you see the traffic congestion there. Please be courteous to each other. So if someone's trying to get over in the lane, let them in. You know, there you go. Let's take a look at what's happening with the travel times this morning. And we travel first 12 westbound from Jubin to Millerville. 5 to 10 minutes, and then US 190, Walker all the way to Airline, US 61, 20 to 30 minutes. For your latest traffic updates, log on to brproud.com, Facebook, and Twitter. This traffic check is sponsored by the Murphy Law Firm. Have you ever get on the freeway and someone's not going to let you over?
It's happened once or twice. But turning now to trending news, an unusual police chase left cars gridlocked in Seattle. Take a look at this video. It all happened because of a small dog. It took police for a wild adventure Monday morning. Traffic cameras caught the entire incident. You can see the little dog there running around. It took police officers, even some people getting out of their cars to try and catch this dog, but eventually he did wear out and they were able to get him, but caused quite the traffic headache.
Come on, they could have grabbed him right there. Like, what is happening? What is that? Okay. All right, we're done. We're
done.
I-5 would not have been a happy camper.
I would not have been happy.
Not a happy camper, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with much more. Stay with us. Welcome back. In this morning's consumer news, San Francisco's minimum wage hit $15 an hour on Sunday, making it the first major city in the U.S. to reach that mark. Now, voters passed the initiative to raise the minimum wage in 2014. According to the city's administrator's office, San Francisco's unemployment rates have fallen to historic lows since the minimum wage began increasing in 2015. Now, in April of this year, it was just 2%. Every July from now on, the wage rate will be readjusted based on annual increases in the Consumer Price Index.
Well, Seattle is taking major steps to reduce waste and become more environmentally friendly. The city has banned plastic straws and utensils at restaurants, grocery stores, cafeterias, and other businesses. Those who violate the ban will face a $250 fine. Businesses are still allowed to use straws and utensils with green materials like paper or bamboo. This comes after Seattle banned styrofoam back in 2009, and then a year later it mandated that businesses have compost and recycle bins. That same year it also required food service items to be either recyclable or compostable.
And Hawaii could become the first state in the U.S. to ban the sale of sunscreens containing 2 chemicals considered harmful to coral reefs. Now, companies that sell products with these chemicals will either have to stop selling them or reformulate them to not have the chemicals in them. People can still get those sunscreens containing the chemicals if they have a prescription. And there's plenty of pushback coming from the sunblock industry, some suggesting this ban could cause fewer people to use sunscreen, thus increasing the risk of skin cancer. Now, the bill to ban these types of sunscreens passed in May, and Hawaii's governor is expected to sign it later this week. That ban would go into effect in 2021.
Well, we've been talking about it all morning. The 4th of July is tomorrow, which means that you may be getting ready to celebrate and maybe even watch some fireworks. But one thing that people don't really consider when lighting those fireworks are your pets.
That's right. Those loud booms tend to send animals into a panic. Heather Wright takes a look at how to help our little puppies.
Alyssa Teal is a volunteer for Arklatex Animal Rescue. She knows all too well how dogs react to fireworks.
You don't think it can happen. Dogs can climb the same as any other animal. They can jump. If they need to get away from something, they'll find a way.
Animal shelter officials say the day after the 4th tends to be one of the busier of the year.
When they take off running, they might run all night.
Experts say animals are more sensitive to the sights and sounds of fireworks.
Animals hear on different wavelengths than humans do. So that loud explosion that just sounds like a boom to you is magnified so many more times to that animal.
During the celebrations, it's recommended you keep your pet indoors at home.
If you can't do that, make sure they're in some sort of contained area where they might feel more comfortable.
And make sure your pet has your contact information on their collar. Microchipping is also helpful.
Make sure you register your chip because it's useless if it doesn't have your information on it.
If you do lose your pet, officials say it's best to visit the shelter in person. Strays in Texarkana can be put up for adoption after 5 days if their owner doesn't pick them up. Heather Wright, Fox 33 News.
And speaking of the 4th of July, we hope you can join us tomorrow morning. We're going to be taking our entire Local 33 News Today crew out into the community for a special 4th of July show. We're going to be bringing it to you live from the USS Kidd tomorrow morning from 5 to 7, our usual time. We're just going to have a different background tomorrow morning, so we hope you can catch us.
That's right, as we get ready to celebrate the 4th of July. Your time now is 6:27 on this Tuesday morning. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with much more Local 33 News Today.
Happening. I think it's my IFB. You might have to cue me. This is a spare anyways. My thing just went out. Hello? Sorry, my thing kind of just went out, but Slade's gonna cue me, but if you needed my check, hi. My IFB ear, it's a spare. But it kind of went out, like it's very, very low. But Slade can hear you. You can hear them, right? I'm not dialed in. Oh. The volume just like went super low for me. It could be my IFB though. This thing sucks. You can hear them, right? Yeah. It's my IFB.
Can you just cue me?
Yeah. Mic check.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Okay, you're good.
That's so annoying.
Coming up in this half hour of Local 33 News Today, growing calls and protests for the Trump administration to end the agency who enforces immigration and customs. This morning, President Trump is sounding off in response.
Plus, as we get ready to celebrate July 4th, law enforcement officers are planning to clear the roads. I'm TC Muzinga. Coming up, I'll have the latest.
And we're not clearing out the rain chances. Details of a rainy 7-day. I have it coming up in weather.
Live and Baton Rouge proud. You're watching Local 33 News Today.
Good morning, everyone. It is 6:30 on this Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Carly Lang.
And I'm Jaron Jordan. Making national headlines this morning, demonstrators across the country are calling for an end to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, known as ICE. Demonstrators, including actors and singers, are demanding an end to President Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy, and they're calling for the immediate reunion of children with their parents.
Now, Trump signed an executive order last week reversing his administration's practice of separating families, as more than 2,000 children are still waiting to be reunited with their parents. Now, Trump came to ICE's defense Saturday, tweeting his support to the, quote, great and brave men and women of ICE, writing they're doing a fantastic job.
And President Trump followed that tweet with this one, criticizing Democrats who are also supporting the idea of abolishing ICE. His tweet read, quote, many Democrats are deeply concerned about the fact that their leadership wants to denounce and abandon the great men and women of ICE, thereby declaring war on law and order. These people will be voting for Republicans in November and in many cases joining the Republican Party. And that was the tweet again from President Donald Trump.
And we want to know what you think about this. So right now we're asking this question on our social media site. Do you agree with some 2020 Democratic presidential candidates that ICE should be abolished, and why? And we're hearing from a number of viewers. Here you can see Chip's response. He says, think it needs an overhaul like many other agencies need as well. We also heard from Jason. He says, no, I support and appreciate everything they do. And you, of course, can sound off at any time and leave your responses underneath this post on our Facebook page, and your answers could pop up on air.
Turning now to that vacation horror in Paradise, an explosion tearing through a tour boat carrying a dozen passengers, including 10 Americans in the Bahamas.
Now this morning, one of those American tourists is dead and 9 others are injured. 4 of them were airlifted to the U.S. for treatment. We're going to get the latest now from NBC's Tammy Lettner.
The boat was on a wildlife excursion when it burst into flames.
Literally, the boat exploded right in front of us,
Killing 39-year-old Malika Grimes Jackson from Chattanooga as she celebrated her 15th wedding anniversary. Her husband Tyran seriously injured.
They were a partnership and fun loving, and she valued family very highly.
9 other Americans were injured, including 22-year-old Stephanie Schaefer, a dancer and athlete.
She did ballet dancing from the time she was very, very young.
To save her life, doctors had to take both her legs.
due to the accident, she both her legs were amputated at her knee. She's going to survive. We're going to pray, and she's going to survive.
Chris Topperween, who recorded this video, watched in horror from another boat as those passengers begged their captain to move back.
So the people were jumping off the boat. The people were already in the water.
Several jumped in to help, even as flames shot into the air. The owner and boat's captain was also injured. The tour company Four Seas Adventure declined comment while the explosion is under investigation. The company is licensed and had been recommended by Travel and Leisure magazine. Meanwhile, Malik Jackson's family is remembering her.
She lived a full life, and full in that it could overflow toward others.
And coming to terms with an anniversary trip that ended like this. Tammy Leitner, NBC News, Clearwater, Florida.
Turning to your local election headquarters this morning, some good news for the state of Louisiana's credit outlook. Moody's Investor Services raised the state's credit rating from negative to stable. The service says the outlook improved because of the recently passed budget and an increase in budget reserves. The better the credit, the more chance the state has to get approved to borrow money for projects. So it's good news that yes, and there's that video again, Senator Eric LaFleur flossing. Maybe it's because he knows that the credit rating improved. Good job. All right, at 6:35 on this Tuesday morning, as you take a live look outside at the capital city from our Skycam, meteorologist Kevin Smith joining us with this forecast, and no rain now, but that is soon to change.
That's right. You can see all the cloudy sky out there. And the reason I have our Skycam pointed toward this direction, if you can, let's show that full screen one more time. And we have it pointed toward the downtown area because it will be in that vicinity tomorrow morning. This time we will have our show live near the USS Kidd. So if you can come out, at least watch the show between 5 and 7 a.m. for a special 4th of July show with all of us there. Maybe some dancing and singing and things like that. Here we go on Doppler radar. The shower and thunderstorm activity continues to the south and east of us as well as to the west, all due to that area of low pressure, and we see that counterclockwise spin there. This arrow is pointing, it's slowly tracking from the east to the west, and indeed close to our vicinity. That's why we're going to hold our rain chances today at around 70, even 80%. So the rainfall totals will at least approaching an inch or so across the metro. Be aware of that. As we move into your Independence Day, still a little bit of a 0.1 of extra rainfall. Not won't be a total washout, 50 to 60% rain chances. And then another disturbance kicks in here by Thursday. You see it increases to over an inch of rainfall, and then more. A little bit of a weak front arriving, at least trying to push in here by the weekend. So the SPC has everyone in that light green general thunderstorm risk. So you know the story there. Headlines today, we're starting out very mild. A cloud cover today, rain chances at around 70 to 80%. High temperatures topping out into the mid to upper 80s, unlike 95 of what we saw yesterday. We're currently into the 70s. 75 Gonzales for 75 New Road. Opelousas 74, 73 though, a little cooler because of all that rainfall yesterday from Hammond up towards 74 into Kentwood. And the local forecast, Rosedale. 85 degrees. We're 86 into Clinton, Prairieville at 85 degrees. As I did say, the rain chances at 80%. Overnight temperatures will drop back into the lower to the mid 70s. Next 5 days, we're 89 for your 4th of July. As I said, 50 to 60% rain chances. 70% on Thursday, 88, and then we're around 50% on Friday, around 90, and then for the weekend, rain chances 50 to 60%. Boo-hoo. And we have those radio updates brought to us by Cumulus Media. Let's take a look at what's happening with the roadways this morning. I-12 at Range Avenue. Some folks have the day off. Some folks, there you go. But the traffic is moving very good in the west and eastbound lanes. And here we go. Travel times, 110 northbound up toward the airport. If you have any at least air travel, just get to the airport early. 15 to 20 minutes at least to travel there. 10 westbound, Seeking up toward Washington, 7 to 14 minutes. For your latest traffic updates, log on to brproud.com, Facebook, and Twitter. This traffic check is sponsored by the Murphy Law Firm.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Well, speaking of the 4th of July, we're going to be having a special thing coming up Saturday. I can't talk right now. We're having a 4th of July special tomorrow, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But first, we're going to check in now with Local 33's TC Muzinga. She has some pointers for us this morning from law enforcement on how to keep yourself safe.
Carly, good morning. Police officers across the state will be working overtime to spot and arrest drunk drivers. Now, according to state police, law enforcement has received highway safety grants to fund overtime costs for extra patrols to get impaired drivers off the roads during the holiday. And get this, from 2012 through 2016, 37 people died on Louisiana roads during July 4th. And 30 of those deaths involved a driver who had been drinking. So those statistics come from the Highway Safety Research Group at LSU. So if you plan on drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. It's not hard to download Uber or Lyft. And if you have a friend who is drinking and appears to be drunk and they plan to drive home, take their keys, call them a taxi, whatever you have to do to get them off the roads. We have a lot more safety tips on our website, beairproud.com. Carly and Jaron, I'm going to swing it back to you guys.
All right, well, still to come on Local 33 News today. We're going to be sitting down with the organizers of an upcoming Cultures for Christ conference. It's happening later this week. We're going to get all those details right after a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are joined now by Apostle Marilyn Thornton. She is here to talk all about the upcoming Cultures for Christ conference that's happening this weekend. First of all, good morning to you. Thanks so much for being with us.
It's such a pleasure.
Now, so for folks who may not know what the Cultures for Christ conference is all about, just give us a rundown of what folks can expect.
Yes, it's going to be an exciting time. This is our 3rd annual event, and it's bringing people together from different cultures to sensitize each other to our cultures so that when we go out to work to evangelize and to reach other countries, I do travel to quite a few countries.
I was going to say, we have the website popped up here with Heritage International Ministries, and it really does document some of the travels that you've taken, and explain that a little bit. I mean, you go out all around the world and you're really just aiming to bring people together.
Yes, well, it's bringing people together under ministry. We try to reach out to do work in communities. It's helping to build the kingdom of God. There are a lot of distressed people. We go into a lot of third world countries, building relationships, and we thank God for that opportunity. Right now, there's a prevalence for that's happening, the persecution of the church and of Christians. So this year, we're actually going to be highlighting that issue in our discussion. We have quite a few leaders in the ministry, apostles, prophets, pastors, bishops, that will be participating in this, and we'll have a discussion about that. What do we do when we go into different environments in different countries to work with the people when there's persecution going on? So this conference is about, or gathering is about, building the edifying the body of Christ, doing the work of the ministry, and perfecting the saints. We'll be doing workshops as well, praise and worship, experience from different cultural perspective, even food.
Sounds pretty exciting. And again, this is all happening on July 6th and 7th. So this weekend, it's happening. Give us all the details for folks who may be interested in participating.
Yes, July 6th from starting at 6:30, we will have the experience of the different cultural foods and praise and worship, and we'll have some exhortations going on. On July 7th, from 9 to 1, we will have workshops during that time. It's going to be 9401 Cortana Mall at Elevate Church, one of our partners that's working with us. We have quite a few partners. We have the African Christian Fellowship that's a part of it, and different cultural groups.
Sounds like a very exciting and an important time for what you're doing and what the mission is. We are going to have all of the information about the details of the 3rd annual Cultures for Christ on our website. That's brproud.com. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We appreciate it. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with a check of your morning headlines. Stay with us.